Hey guys, welcome again to another video of solving equations using algebra. But today we're going to take a look at solving equations that have fractions in them. Okay, so we've looked at so many other things so far, so now today it's working with fractions. What do we do when we have equations that have fractions in them? So the process is still the same, and if we can understand that process, we know that we still have to isolate the variable, and we still have these two rules that are very important. The rules are, once again, we do the opposite of what's happening to the variable. So the opposite of what's happening to the variable. And the other thing to remember is that what I do to one side, I do to the other. So let's take a look at an example here. So let's say, for example, my equation is n over 5 is equal to negative 6. So my variable is in this fraction form. And I need to understand that fractions is the same thing as division. So what's happening here is that n is being divided by 5. So remember, we have to do the opposite of what's happening to the variable. That's how we isolate the variable. So the opposite of dividing by 5 is to multiply by 5. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 here. So here, these 5's cancel out, leaves me with n. And then on the other side, I have negative 6 times 5, which is equal to negative 30. So there we go. We finished that. This was doing this in one step. Not too difficult. So now, remember, let's verify it. So write up my equation. N over 5 is equal to negative 6. Line under the equal sign. So now here, I said that n is equal to negative 30. So then I'm going to put negative 30 in place of n. So now I have negative 30 divided by 5. So negative 30 divided by 5, well, that's negative 6. Oh, now on the right side, I have negative 6. So these two are the same. That means this is the correct answer then. N is equal to negative 30. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another example. I'm going to do it kind of quickly here. Okay, so it shouldn't take us too long. So I have here x over 9 is equal to 15.6. So now I have my variable in fraction form and I have decimals as well. So the process is still the same. X is being divided by 9, so that means I have to multiply this side by 9. If I multiply this side by 9, I multiply the other side by 9. So here, these 9's cancel out, leaves me with x, and now I have 15.6 times 9, and if I use my calculator, I'll know that I will get 140 decimal 4. There's my answer. Now, let's double check our answer. We do a verify. So rewrite the equation. X over 9 is equal to 15.6, line under the equal sign. So x was equal to 140.4. Substitute that in for x. Divide that by 9. Use my calculator. Do it on my calculator. I will get 15.6. Oh, and on the other side, I have 15.6. These two are the same. So what does that mean about this answer? That means this answer, x is equal to 140.4. Well, that's my correct answer. Okay. I think you'll agree that's not too difficult. Now, let's take a look at another question where we're going to have two steps involved in the question. I'm just going to change my background here. There's a different background. Let's take a look at this equation. So the equation I have now is n over 6 plus 12 is equal to 18. And just for fun, we're going to make this a negative. Okay, so now here, this equation is going to involve two steps. First step I have here is I have a variable in fraction form, and then I have plus 12. So just like we did before, I've got to get rid of this first. Let's get rid of this first. This is a plus 12. How do I get rid of a plus 12? Well, I do the opposite of it. The opposite of a plus 12 is going to be, I'm going to subtract a 12 from it. So plus 12 minus 12. What I do to one side, do to the other. So 18, take away 12. So let's go back to the left side. 12s cancel out. Leaves me with n over negative 6. And now let's simplify the right side. 18 take away 12. Well, that is simply just 6. Now, we should know what to do from here, because we did it already. So n divided by negative 6, the opposite of that is to multiply by negative 6. What I do to one side, do to the other. Here, the 6's cancel out. Leaves me with n. On this side, 6 times negative 6, well, that's going to give me negative 36. There's my answer. So now, what's left to do? As we always do this, we just simply have to verify our answer. So we said that n was equal to negative 36. Let's double check. Do a verify. Remember how to do a verify. We write out the equation again. N over negative 6 plus 12 equal to 18. Line under the equal sign. Substitute this value, which is negative 36 for n. Divide that by negative 6, add a 12. So let's do this. Negative 36 divided by 6, well, that's going to give me a positive 6. Then I have a plus 12. Positive 6 plus 12, well, that gives me 18. Oh, and on the right side, I have 18. So what does that mean? These two are the same. That means that this answer, n equals negative 36, is the correct answer. Okay, let's try another one. So this time I'm going to say, let's say I have a negative 9 plus s over 2 is equal to 2. Okay, there we go. Now, this time I just put the variable that's in fraction just in the middle, but the process is still the same to solve it. First thing I need to get rid of is this negative 9. So, in order to get rid of negative 9, I've got to add the opposite, which is a positive 9 or a plus 9. And then I'll write out whatever I still have left in my equation. And then remember, what I do to one side, I do to the other. Because I added plus 9 here, I have to add a plus 9 here. This, or those two, cancel out. Leaves me with just simply s over 2 on the left side, and then to simplify the right side, I have 2 plus 9, which is equal to 11. Now we're back to this. So one step is done, second step now. So this is s divided by 2. So s is being divided by 2. The opposite of dividing by 2 is to multiply by 2. And I'm going to do that to both sides. So here the 2's cancel out. Leaves me with s. And then on the other side, 11 times 2, well, that's 22. Okay, so let's double check our answer. We're going to verify. Write out the equation. Negative 9 plus s over 2 is equal to 2. Line under the equal sign. Let's do our substitution. We said that s was equal to 22. So substitute 22 for s. So 22 divided by 2, and then I still have a plus negative 9. So let's do this step by step. 22 plus 2, well, that's 11. And then to 11, I'm going to add a negative 9. So negative 9 plus 11, if we remember our adding integers, how to add integers, well, this ends up with a positive 2. And on the other side, I have a positive 2. And would you look at that? These answers, where the left side and the right side are the same, so that means my answer of s equals 22 is the correct answer. Okay, well, there we go. So another lesson. I hope you understand, and if you know how to get a hold of me if you have any difficulties.